Today, we are going to talk about hyper-focused work sessions and how you can use them to get more things done in your business and your life. Hello, guys. My name is Dana L'Oreal Morales, and I'm your holistic process strategist. I help you develop, implement, and streamline processes in both your business and your personal life so that you can have better work-life balance and integration. Now, who doesn't need help getting more things done? We all talk about it. We all know it. So that's great in theory, but how do you do it? What do you do? And is it going to be hard, right? This is going to be so easy for you to do if you follow these simple steps. So first, let me back up and explain what a hyper-focused work session is. So typically, and this isn't unique to small business owners or to side hustlers. This is just people in general. When they are working or trying to do something, a lot of times they are determining, out of all this stuff I need to do, what is the thing that I'm going to work on right now? And it's usually based, of course, on priority, is based on when is it due, right? And so you're setting a priority for this thing because I've got a meeting and I got to get ready, or I've got to meet with a client and I got to get ready. So we all understand that there is a way that you kind of get things done, but there are those things, most of the time they're administrative level things that are just, there are so many of them, and we're like, what do I do first? Like, I don't know, there's so much, I'm overwhelmed, there's just too much to do. Well, here is how you break that down and create hyper-focused work sessions. So the very first thing you want to do, as I talk about all the time, is you need to create your top priority items, right? So I'm kind of omitting the things that you absolutely have to get done for a meeting, but I'm not specifically talking about those today, but this works for those as well. Because we know if you have a client meeting, you're going to do what you need to do to get ready for that client meeting first. So that's understood. We're kind of picking that up and putting that over here, right? I'm talking more about those other things that you need to get done, but you've got an hour, you don't have any client work or anything going on, and you're trying to figure out, what am I going to do with this hour? Okay. So with all that in mind, you're going to take your top 3 things that you're like, okay, I know I kind of need to do this. This is kind of important. I really need to get this done. It's a big project. I don't know how to get started, but I know I need to do something with it. Hello, electronic clutter, right? How do I declutter that? Where do I start? What do I do? Okay. So this is what you do. The first thing you want to think about is, what are the pieces? So I'm going to use my ConvertKit cleanup as the example here, because you guys know, if you are on my newsletter, you know that I recently found a big leak in my system, and a leak is basically something that breaks down your process. Like, it's a gap in your process that causes things not to work like they're supposed to. And so I found a huge leak in my ConvertKit system. And so I know that that's a top priority thing I need to get fixed as soon as possible. So it's a huge undertaking. There are so many things that make up ConvertKit, and I really need to go from top to, from A to Z in the system to make sure that it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So the first thing I need to do is figure out, what are all those things, right? So it's a mind map, if you will, or a brainstorming session of figuring out, what are all the things? Because you can't identify or prioritize the things if you don't even know what they are. So the first step is me sitting down and writing out, or thinking through, mind mapping out, what are the things. So just off the top of my head, I can say, okay, I need to go through the segments. I need to go through, and those who don't know ConvertKit, just go with me here and understand these are pieces of the system that where clutter can be, or where things could be a little bit out of whack. Okay. So you have your subscriber list, which typically there's a cleanup process there, but it is what it is. So we've got the subscriber list, we've got the tags, we've got the segments, we've got rules, we've got automations, sequences, templates, landing pages, forms. So right there, just off the top of my head, I've got 9 areas of the system that I need to review and I need to figure out what is going on with it. Okay. So I'm going to list those out. And of those 9 things, I need to figure out what is going to be number one, the easiest, right? So you can let me say this, you can put it in the order of easiest to hardest, or you can put it in the order of what is most important. So when somebody comes to, subscribes to a form, a newsletter, or a landing page, what is the next thing that is most important to make sure the system is working properly? For me, it's tags, right? It's tags, because tags help to move people into the right places. And so that's going to be an area that I really want to tackle. And so that's kind of how you go through your list to determine the priority. Then you want to think about, okay, so when I'm talking about tags, cleaning up tags, what are the things that I need to do? It's just like creating an outline. It's just an outline of things you need to do. So when I'm thinking about tags, I'm thinking about, okay, do I need the tag? Number one, what is a tag used for? Is it linked to something else? So is it, if they're tagged here, it matches with a sequence, like figuring that out and really mapping that out. It really goes into a mapping sequence within ConvertKit, really, because so many things are linked to others that by nature of me cleaning up my tags, it in turn will probably clean up several other areas as well, because in that mapping, I can figure out, okay, when someone signs up for my Declutter Club Challenge, for example, when they sign up for that, they are tagged with a, Declutter Club Challenge tag that comes from the Teachable link integration with my ConvertKit account. So it tags them automatically. It used to not do that. So I had a tag that I created that was doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? Well, now there is a tag that does it automatically. I say automagically, right? Because I didn't set it up. So now that's a cleanup piece I need to do. And so I need to go through and set up the, make sure that the automations that used to be on the old tag are now on the new, and then delete the old. So that when you start thinking through what is it that I need to do and how do I need to do it and what are the little pieces, that's going to help you figure out the action that needs to be taken. So this part of it is so vitally important. And this is what I find people are missing. They're trying to just jump right in. So a lot of people will say, I need to clean up my ConvertKit account. And so on the day that they designate is the time for them to clean up their ConvertKit account, they'll just log into ConvertKit and begin messing around and doing stuff with no clear focus or direction regarding what it is that they're doing. Instead, what you need to do is spend some time, maybe an hour. And I know for some, they're going to say, oh, this is really wasting time and I just need to go and take action. This is actually going to make your action go faster. Okay. So take the time to truly plan out what you're going to do and how you're going to do it first, and then go into the system and do it. Because if I just jumped in and started deleting tags and moving stuff around, it could have detrimental results in the overall system if I don't realize it's linked to something else, right? And so I need to go through and do it in a very strategic way. And in order to do that, I have to be hyper-focused. I have to say my focus right now is only on ConvertKit. I am only focused on getting this cleaned up. And my main focus is the tags, understanding that the tags lead to other things. So, as I was thinking through and planning my process out, I said, okay, I'm really just going to go through a mapping of my current products, my current situation, what it is I'm offering in the front in my business right now, and map that out and create a visual automation using the tag that the system created, right? And I'm going to document that, and I'm going to say this goes to this, goes to this, goes to this. That's the mapping process. And if you need help with that, I don't have time today to talk about it. You'll have to go over in OA there, and actually in both OA, Organized Academy, and outside of Organized Academy, there is a mapping processes course that you can take. If you're a member of OA, you get it with your membership. If you're not, you can get it outside of the membership, or you can just get the membership and take it. Okay. So with the mapping process, it walks you through how to map the flow of what is happening with this particular item. So I can map Organized Academy all the way through what I want to happen throughout my system. Okay. I can set that up through a visual automation in ConvertKit. So anything outside of this visual automation can be deleted. And that is in relation to that. So any tags I created, anything that is not identified or depicted in that list can be removed. So my normal process, I have a spreadsheet that I help to use to track certain things in my business. Okay. And so when it comes time, once I finish that initial mapping, I can then go through and sort and say, okay, these are the only tags that are being used. So any other tag that's in the system, I can do away with. And I need to determine, what do I need to do with the people that are in those tags? Or do I even care? Is there anything that I need to capture from this information? Or can I just delete it, right? And so that's how you move forward and begin to strategically make the change in whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm focused in on change right now, just because we're dealing with the declutter. We're decluttering and talking about electronic clutter and all of that right now this month. But the truth is that this is with anything that you do. You can apply these same concepts to anything that you do. It is about planning it out and really breaking it down so that you can truly dedicate specific time to it. People ask me all the time, you have 15 minutes, but you like knock that out in 15 minutes, because I knew what it took to do it. I know that if I have to go to a doctor's appointment, I have already thought through, what can I do while I'm sitting in the waiting room? And I take what I need with me to the waiting room, so that no matter how long I have to wait on the doctor, I'm working. I'm using that time wisely, right? Whether it's a podcast episode that I'm listening to, or I'm working on creating graphics, or I'm creating outlines, whatever it is, utilize those pockets of time. We talk about that, pockets of time, all the time. But use that wisely. And you only can use it wisely if you truly know what it is that you've got to do. So I hope that you found this helpful. Definitely use these hyper-focused moments of time to help you move forward in your business and in the things that you need to do, okay? One thing that I didn't mention when it comes to hyper-focusing is, you want to, if you know anything about horse racing, and I don't know if they still do this today, but back in the day, they would have the blinders on the horses. So they'd have these little black things. I don't know if they're always black or not, but they'd have these little things that were on the side of the horse's face, right? And those kept them from seeing what was around them and getting distracted. So when they're racing, all they saw was what was directly in front of them, so that they can run the fastest way, and whatever the carrot or whatever it is they put in front of the horse to get them to run. They're running to try to reach this thing, right? So think of yourself, don't think of yourself as a horse, but think of yourself as having these blinders on. So when you are hyper focusing in, you are just focused on Instagram, right? Oh, Instagram. What am I talking about? You are just focused in on your task at hand. So for me, in this particular scenario, it's ConvertKit. So in doing ConvertKit, an example I can give you that is a true life example is, okay, I'm going through ConvertKit and I'm cleaning it up and I'm doing all the things. And I realize, oh my gosh, I never went and, I was supposed to be making sure that all the people from my old Declutter Club challenge, from my old platform, that they were moved over to the new one, and that I sent them a communication to let them know, hey, this is where you're going to get your information from now on. This old system is going to go down in X amount of days, right? So I had that on my list to do, and I have not done it yet. Can they still get to their stuff? And are they without anything? No, but they also don't have access to the new unless they've gone and signed up for it on their own, right? So from a customer service standpoint, I need to close that gap. I need to do that. And that's going to come to light, right, as I'm going through and cleaning up my ConvertKit account. However, I don't need to stop what I'm doing to go and take care of that, because that's a separate focus. I am hyper focused in on ConvertKit. So instead, I need to put it in my project management tool with a date on it to say, you need to take care of this. This is a high priority item that you need to take care of soon. And let's go ahead and plan to do it next week or tomorrow or whatever the time is, right? And so that way I'm not leaving my focus, which is ConvertKit cleanup. I am still in that and just keeping track of all the other things I need to do. Okay. So that is part of the hyper focus situation is, I have an hour or whatever your time limit is. And during this time, I am going to hyper focus on this and this alone and nothing else. Right. Even phone calls and things, sometimes it's hard, especially if you are, take client calls in regularly and your phone is ringing a lot, you may get distracted because of that. What I recommend that you do, if you are having a hyper focus session, is treat it as though that is a client. Block that time off in your calendar. Don't take any distractions unless it's an absolute emergency, and just hyper focus in and get it done. That is what's going to help you move the needle, right, in your business to get the things done that you need to get done and stop this moment of just confusion to the point where you aren't getting anything done. And that's what a lot of you all have said is happening, is that you are just kind of wasting your time trying to figure out what it is that you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So hopefully you found this helpful. Definitely make sure that you are subscribed to one of my social media channels or the newsletter, because let me tell you, really the newsletter is probably the best place for you to subscribe. If you're not a big social media person, I would definitely recommend that. But if you are, hey, subscribe everywhere. I am all for it. I really, really want to get to know you guys and what your pain points are. And I want to hear about your successes as well. And if you found something useful out of this session, please make sure you review and give me your feedback. I absolutely love it and appreciate it. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.